A life will test you in ways you never imagined. It will push you to your breaking point, it will challenge your patience, and it will strip away every comfort you thought you could depend on. And in those moments when you feel like giving up, when the struggle feels unbearable, that is where your true strength is born. You see, strength is never built in moments of ease or comfort. No one ever became powerful by staying in their comfort zone. Strength is forged in fire. It's built in the sleepless nights, in the quiet tears no one sees, in the failures that humble you, and in the relentless determination to rise again. I know many of you sitting here today have faced battles that left scars. Some of you are carrying burdens that feel too heavy. And some of you might even believe that your struggles are proof that you're not strong enough. But I want you to hear me clearly. Your struggles are not a sign of weakness. They are the very reason you will become stronger than you've ever been. Tonight, I want to take you on a journey. A journey that will show you that struggle is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally, that every setback you've endured has been preparing you for a breakthrough, that every challenge you've survived has been building a foundation of resilience within you. If you truly want to build strength, if you truly want to rise above the noise, and if you want to discover the version of yourself you were always meant to be, then lean in. Listen closely. Because what I'm about to share with you may just change the way you see every struggle you've ever faced. And once you see it, once you understand the gift hidden inside your pain, you will never look at struggle the same way again. When we think about struggle, most people instinctively see it as something unfair, something that interrupts their life, or something they wish they could avoid. But here's the truth. Struggle is not a detour. It is the path. Every single time life has challenged me, every time it has thrown me into situations I didn't feel ready for, those were the moments that shaped me the most. Struggles are life's toughest teachers, but they are also the most honest, because they will never flatter you, they will never lie to you, and they will never let you get away with excuses. They expose who you are, and they force you to confront the gap between where you are and where you're capable of going. Think back for a moment to a time when everything was falling apart for you. Maybe it was losing an opportunity you thought you deserved. Maybe it was a failure that left you embarrassed and defeated. Or maybe it was simply a season of waiting, when no matter how hard you tried, nothing seemed to move forward. At the time, you probably felt helpless, maybe even angry. But now, looking back, can you see how much you grew from that experience? Can you see the patience, the resilience, or even the wisdom it instilled in you? Struggle teaches in silence. It doesn't announce itself with celebration, but it plants seeds of strength that blossom long after the pain fades. The reality is, comfort never made anyone great. Comfort never demanded more from you, never challenged you to think differently, and never pushed you beyond your limits. Comfort is safe, but it's also the place where potential goes to die. Struggle, on the other hand, is what forces you to rise, to adapt, to dig deeper than you ever thought possible. And the reason so many people never discover their strength is because they run from struggle instead of embracing it. They see hardship and immediately look for an escape, not realizing that the very thing they're trying to avoid is the thing that would elevate them. I've seen it countless times, people who crumble at the first sign of difficulty and wonder why life feels unfair. And I've also seen people who endure storms that would have broken anyone else, but they come out of it stronger, sharper, and more unshakable than ever. The difference between the two isn't luck, it's perspective. One person sees struggle as punishment, the other sees it as preparation. And if you choose to see your struggles as preparation, you will start to understand that they are not in your way. They are the way. They are the way. When you face challenges, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? That one question can change everything, because no matter how painful the situation is, there's always a lesson waiting for you. Maybe it's patience, maybe it's humility, maybe it's courage, or maybe it's simply the reminder that you are far stronger than you give yourself credit for. Each struggle is like a mirror reflecting back the areas you need to grow in. And yes, sometimes that reflection is uncomfortable. Sometimes it hurts to realize how much work you still have to do. But that's how transformation happens. You cannot evolve by staying the same. And here's the thing about life. The lessons you refuse to learn will keep showing up until you finally face them. Struggles repeat themselves, not because the world is against you, but because you're being given another chance to grow. That same disappointment, that same failure, that same obstacle will return in a different form until you finally embrace the lesson it's been trying to teach you. And once you do, you rise to a new level, never to be shaken by the same struggle again. It's like a test you can't skip. Imagine being in school, avoiding the hardest class because you don't want to face it. You might delay it, but sooner or later, you're going to have to take it. And if you don't, you'll never graduate. Life works the same way. Your struggles are those classes. They might not be the ones you wanted, they might not be the ones you chose, but they are the ones you need in order to grow into who you are meant to be. The truth is, struggle is not your enemy. It is your mentor, and the lessons it teaches you will stay with you long after the moment of hardship has passed. Struggles sharpen your instincts, they strengthen your faith, they expand your patience, and they build your resilience. They strip away the noise of excuses and leave behind the raw, unshakable strength that only comes from being tested. And when you finally reach the other side of that struggle, when you look back on what you've endured, you'll realize something powerful, that the pain was temporary, but the strength you gained will last forever. So the next time life places you in the middle of a storm, don't resist it. Don't run from it. Lean into it. Ask what it's trying to teach you. Embrace the discomfort, because inside that struggle is a teacher that will shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than you ever imagined. Because in the end, it's not the easy moments that define you. It's the struggles you face, the lessons you learn, and the strength you build through them that will carry you to the life you're truly capable of living. Pain is one of the most misunderstood forces in our lives. Most people see it as a signal to stop, as something cruel or unfair, something they should avoid at all costs. But the truth is, pain is not there to destroy you. It's there to transform you. Without pain, there is no growth. Without pain, there is no strength. Every breakthrough in life has pain written all over it. And if you run from it, you rob yourself of the very transformation you were meant to experience. Think about how muscles are built. You can't grow them without first tearing the fibers through resistance, through stress, through effort that stretches you to your limits. It hurts, but it's necessary because the pain signals growth. And just like your body, your spirit works the same way. Every setback, every heartbreak, every disappointment, every time you felt like you were at rock bottom, those were the moments that tore you down just enough to rebuild you stronger. Pain, when embraced, has the power to turn weakness into unshakable strength. But here's what happens too often. Instead of seeing pain as part of the process, people see it as the end of the road. They say, "This hurts too much, I can't take it anymore," and they quit. They quit on their goals, they quit on their dreams, and sometimes they even quit on themselves. But the people who learn to endure pain, the people who see it for what it really is, are the ones who rise above. They are the ones who take that pain and turn it into power. I can tell you this, pain is the great equalizer. It doesn't care where you come from, it doesn't care about your background, and it doesn't care what resources you have. At some point, every single one of us is going to face it. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. It's not whether or not you face pain, it's whether or not you let it stop you. If you can endure it, if you can let it mold you instead of break you, you'll come out stronger than you ever imagined. Stronger than you ever imagined. Sometimes the very things that hurt you the most are the things that shape you the most. That broken relationship that left you shattered, it may have taught you self-worth. That failure that left you humiliated, it may have taught you humility and resilience. That rejection that made you doubt yourself, that may have taught you patience and perseverance. Pain leaves scars, but those scars are proof that you survived. Proof that you survived, proof that you grew, proof that you were strong enough to keep going. You see, pain is a teacher, and the lessons it gives you are priceless. It strips away the illusions and shows you what you're really made of. It teaches you endurance, it teaches you patience, and it teaches you gratitude for the moments when life feels easier. The truth is, without pain, we would take everything for granted. We wouldn't recognize the beauty of peace without the storm. We wouldn't appreciate success without the sting of failure. We wouldn't value love without the ache of loss. Pain gives meaning to everything else in life. And here's the most powerful part. Once you've gone through pain and come out stronger, it changes how you see the world. Suddenly, challenges that used to intimidate you don't scare you anymore. Situations that used to make you doubt yourself no longer hold power over you. Why? Because you've already endured worse. and you know that no matter how hard it gets, you have the strength to make it through. That kind of confidence, that kind of inner strength doesn't come from comfort, it only comes from pain. I know some of you may be carrying pain right now. Maybe you're in the middle of a struggle that feels unbearable. Maybe you're dealing with loss or failure or rejection, and maybe you're wondering if you'll ever get through it. Let me tell you, you will. Not only will you get through it, but you'll come out stronger. The very pain you're experiencing right now is building a version of you that is tougher, wiser, and more unstoppable than you can imagine. It's easy to wish for a life without pain, but let's be honest, what kind of life would that be? A life without pain would be a life without growth, without depth, without true strength. You would never discover who you really are if you were never tested. And as hard as it is to believe in the moment, one day you'll look back on your pain and realize it was the turning point. The moment that forced you to rise. The moment that gave you strength you didn't even know you had. So the next time you feel pain, don't curse it. Don't run from it. Don't let it convince you that you're weak. Instead, see it for what it really is. A tool, a teacher, a fire that is shaping you into someone stronger. Because if you can learn to endure it, if you can learn to lean into it, then no amount of pain will ever have the power to break you again. Because pain doesn't just test you. It transforms you. Strength doesn't appear overnight. It doesn't arrive as some sudden gift. It is built day by day, through choices, through effort, and through consistency. Struggle alone will not make you stronger. It's what you choose to do in the middle of that struggle that defines you. And nothing matters more in that process than discipline and persistence. Without them, you can have all the talent in the world, all the passion, all the big dreams, and yet you will never reach your full potential. Because success is not about what you want. It's about what you're willing to work for, day after day, even when it feels impossible. Discipline is the decision to show up even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when your body screams for more sleep. It's keeping promises to yourself even when no one else would know if you broke them. It's doing the hard, unglamorous work, not for instant results, but because you know what's waiting for you on the other side of consistency. People often admire those who achieve greatness, but what they don't see are the countless hours of quiet effort, the small, disciplined choices that were repeated over and over again, long before success ever appeared. And discipline goes hand in hand with persistence. Because no matter how strong your discipline is, you will face setbacks, you will fail, you will stumble. You will put in the work and not see the results right away. That's when persistence becomes everything. Persistence is the voice inside you that says, don't stop. Keep going. Just one more step. It's the ability to stay the course when the excitement has worn off and all that's left is the grind. It's refusing to quit, not because it's easy, but because you've decided your dream is worth more than your comfort. Think about the people you admire most. The leaders, the innovators, the athletes, the builders of empires. What do they all have in common? It's not that life was easier for them. It's not that they never struggled. In fact, most of them faced struggles greater than anything you can imagine. But what they had was the discipline to keep showing up and the persistence to keep going when everything inside them wanted to give up. That's what separates those who succeed from those who only dream. The truth is, there will be days when your motivation disappears. Motivation is powerful, but it is also fleeting. It comes and goes with your mood, with your energy, with your circumstances. Discipline is what carries you when motivation abandons you. It is what gets you out of bed when you feel drained. It is what makes you pick yourself back up after a failure. And persistence is what allows you to keep moving forward even when the results are invisible, even when progress feels painfully slow. Together they create the foundation that no struggle can shake. And here's the thing. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to move in giant leaps. Growth doesn't require perfection, it requires persistence. Smallest steps taken every single day build more strength than the occasional bursts of effort. You may not see change in a week, you may not see it in a month, but over time, those small, consistent actions transform you. They create habits, they build resilience, and they make discipline part of your identity. There will be moments when you feel like nothing is working, when the road seems endless, and your effort feels wasted. Those are the moments that break most people because they want quick results, they want immediate rewards. But life doesn't work like that. Growth is slow, strength is forged in the waiting, and success often shows up long after you thought it ever would. The only way to bridge that gap between where you are and where you want to be is persistence. You keep going when it's hard. You keep going when it's boring. You keep going when no one is clapping for you. Because one day, everything you've built in the dark will shine in the light. And let me tell you this, discipline is freedom. It may not feel like it in the moment, but discipline is what sets you free from the chains of regret. It frees you from the pain of what if. It frees you from the weakness of inconsistency. Discipline may feel heavy today, but regret weighs more, and regret lasts longer. When you commit to discipline and persistence, you are not just working toward a goal, you are becoming someone new. You are becoming someone stronger, more focused, more unshakable. So don't underestimate the power of simply not quitting. Don't overlook the strength it takes to keep moving forward one small step at a time. That is where real growth happens. Not in the big dramatic moments, but in the quiet, disciplined persistence that carries you through the struggle. And when you finally break through, when you finally achieve what you've been fighting for, you'll realize that the strength you built along the way is worth far more than the goal itself. Because discipline and persistence will never fail you. They will turn struggle into growth, pain into power, and weakness into unshakable strength. One of the hardest things to accept in life is that setbacks are inevitable. No matter how disciplined you are, no matter how hard you work, no matter how carefully you plan, there will be times when things don't go your way. You'll face rejection, you'll face delays, you'll face closed doors. And in those moments, it's easy to believe you've failed, to believe the journey is over. But the truth is, setbacks are not the end of your story. They are part of your story. And if you allow them to, they can become the setups for the greatest successes of your life. Think about it. Every person who has achieved something extraordinary has faced setbacks that nearly broke them. The difference is, they didn't stop there. They didn't let the rejection define them, and they didn't let failure become their identity. Instead, they used those moments as fuel, as redirection, as a reminder that the road to success is never straight. It is full of turns, detours, and obstacles. But each one carries a hidden purpose if you're willing to look for it. Setbacks force you to pause and reevaluate. They make you ask questions you wouldn't have asked if everything had gone smoothly. They teach you humility, they refine your focus, and sometimes they even redirect you to a path you never would have chosen on your own, but a path that ends up being far better than what you originally planned. What feels like rejection today may be protection from something that wasn't meant for you. What feels like a loss in the moment may be clearing space for something greater to come. The most powerful part of setbacks is how they reveal your character. Anyone can keep moving forward when everything is going right. Anyone can feel strong when doors open easily. But what defines you is how you respond when everything seems to be falling apart. Do you give up? Do you let the disappointment consume you? Or do you use it as a stepping stone, as an opportunity to grow stronger and more determined? That decision is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who stay stuck in defeat. Every setback you face is preparing you for a comeback. But here's the key. You have to believe it. You have to believe that the struggle has a purpose. And you have to believe that the delay is not denial. You have to believe that every no you hear is pushing you closer to the right yes. Without that perspective, setbacks will crush you. But that perspective, they will build you. And let's be honest, sometimes setbacks hurt more than anything else. They can feel like betrayal, like unfairness, like failure. But hidden within that pain is the exact lesson you need. Maybe the setback is showing you that you need to build more resilience. Maybe it's teaching you patience. Maybe it's sharpening your skills so that when the real opportunity comes, you'll be ready. Setbacks don't diminish your value. They prepare you for the value of what's ahead. The truth is, the path to success is never smooth. It was never meant to be. If everything came easy, we wouldn't learn persistence. If every door opened on the first knock, we wouldn't understand gratitude. If every plan unfolded perfectly, we would never discover the strength that comes from rising after we fall. The very setbacks we resent are the ones that shape us into people who are capable of holding on to success when it finally arrives. So the next time you face a setback, don't let it break your spirit. See it as a test, as a challenge, as a setup for something bigger. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I use this setback to fuel my next move? face setback to fuel my next move. Because if you approach it with the right mindset, every setback becomes an opportunity in disguise. It becomes the tool that sharpens you, the fire that refines you, and the force that propels you forward. When you look back on your life one day, you won't just remember the moments of triumph. You'll remember the moments when you thought it was over, when you thought you couldn't go on, and you did. You'll remember the setbacks that felt like the end, but turned out to be the beginning of something far greater. And you'll realize that every closed door, every disappointment, every fall was actually preparing you for the breakthrough you were destined to experience. Because setbacks are not there to stop you. They are there to strengthen you, to prepare you, and to set you up for a success far greater than you could have imagined.